What's up, everybody? Jim here, back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video. Today, we're talking about Togedemaru. This is the electric steel type Pokemon with Lightning Rod. A lot of teams have been using Lightning Rod, not really recently, but more like earlier in the Sword and Shield with Raichu or Togedemaru. Lightning Rod is an amazing ability that makes any electric type move go into this Pokemon immunity to the electric type move, and then raises one stage, which is very, very good. It's a really good ability. Being able to, soak up some kind of super effective damage towards your Milotic, your Gyarados, your Togekiss, Lapras now with G-Max Lapras. Being able to soak that up, raise your special attack one stage, which doesn't matter for this Pokemon, but being able to soak that up is really cool. And you can stop things like Thunder Wave, like Thunderbolt from like good Pokemon, or like from actual attacks, and then Thunder Wave from like setup Pokemon and Prankster Pokemon, and it's pretty cool. This Pokemon does a lot of things. It has good utility, solid stats as far as the stats that actually matter. Not very bulky. This Pokemon is not very bulky. Don't expect it to live a lot of times, but we have like Focus Sash to patch that up. Anyway, without further ado, let's talk about it. So, immunity, poison. We are electric steel type. This is actually an insane typing. Like, as if, like, just look at this. This is crazy. You have one immunity, two regular weaknesses being fire and fighting, and one quad weakness, which is ground. If this typing was on a bulky Pokemon, that Pokemon would be so good. It would be insane. But we don't have that. We need an electric steel Ferrothorn. Like, bring it. Come on, Game Freak, bring that to us. Anyway, resistances: normal, electric, grass, ice, flying, psychic, bug, rock, dragon, steel, fairy. What? 11 resistances? That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. This Pokemon could live, like, if we had a bulky boy, a very bulky boy of this typing, it would be insane. With a good ability and good stats of defensive, it would be nuts. But we don't have that. We need that. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for our overview, except for stats. We'll talk about stats real quick. So, like I said, the defenses, leaving a lot to desire. 65 HP, 63 defense, and 73 special defense. I mean, it's not pathetic. Like, this Pokemon can definitely live some attacks, especially with all those resistances. However, not very frequently, and all of the super effective attacks are just going to kill us, like one shot, definitely. So we're using Focus Sash just to live those attacks. As far as our stats, though, that we actually care about, attack 98 and speed 96, that's like very good. Both are very, very high, solid, well-rounded stats there, and we can get a good bit of damage off pretty fast. And you can bring this Pokemon in, take an attack like an electric type attack, and then just roll with it. It's really, really good. So that's about it for the overview. We'll go ahead and jump into the build here. The build is pretty basic for the most part. So Togedemaru has the ability Lightning Rod, like I was saying. You could also use Iron Barbs, but I mean, I think the majority of its utility is the fact that it has Lightning Rod to soak up damage for things like Gyarados, the Lapras, the Togekiss, the Milotic, things like that. But yeah, Lightning Rod is really cool. Item Focus Sash, I already talked about this a little. We're really frail. We're like extremely frail, so I definitely value Focus Sash. You could use Air Balloon if you want to, but then you're going to die to those fighting and fire moves. So I just like Focus Sash. I think is better. Next, into our moves, we have Nuzzle, Zing Zap, Fake Out, and Iron Head as our actual move set. All these moves are really good. Nuzzle giving you guaranteed paralysis, which is really, really good. Zing Zap just being a really strong physical stab move for electric, really good. Also has a chance of flinching, a 30% chance, so it's something like similar to Rock Slide, Waterfall. Very solid move. We have Fake Out, which is amazing. You can bring this Pokemon in, soak up that electric type attack, and then Fake Out, and then have another turn. You can get a lot of mileage off of just 2 attacks with this. Just Fake Out and Nuzzle, or like Fake Out and an attack, which is very good. And then for our last move is Iron Head. Very similar to Zing Zap, actually like the exact same. No, it's like 90 power, right? Is it 90? I think it's 90. No, it's actually 80. It's actually the exact same as Zing Zap, but yeah, giving you the chance to flinch. It's a really good move. Like, you have two really, really solid. I can't find OBS. You have two very, very solid stab physical attacks on this Pokemon, which is really good, and then 2 great utility attacks of Fake Out and Nuzzle. It's a really, really good set, and I definitely think it's optimized. However, there are other good moves on this Pokemon. We have things like Spiky Shield, which is just protect, but if they deal contact damage to you that turn, or they make contact with your Spiky Shield, then they take 1/8 of their maximum health, which is very, very good. That's the equivalent to Leftovers Heal that they take from a protect, which is really, really good. I really like any kind of move like that, you know, like Obstruct on Obstagoon, and or Obstruct, it just sounds weird. King Shield, like all these really, really good protect moves that have an extra effect are just really good, and I think they're definitely worth exploring. However, this Pokemon, we don't really expect it to, like, we kind of just want to do like a cool utility move, you know, like Fake Out or Nuzzle or something, and live a turn and then Fake Out Nuzzle, and that's kind of where it comes from in this Pokemon. So I don't see the Spiky Shield on this set. However, it's definitely an option. Same with Encore being a really good move, you know, Encore hitting something like Trick Room, which is really, really good, making them just have to switch out. Encore on any kind of setup Pokemon, any kind of setup move. Ooh. Really, really impactful in singles and VGC. Very good move in general. It's really cool. It's interesting that Raichu actually gets that move. Same thing. Raichu is very similar to this Pokemon. They both have their ups and downs. However, I like this Pokemon a lot, and I like Raichu a lot too. You know, they're both really cool. Next, we have U-Turn, which is one of the main points of our singles build for this Pokemon. Just being able to, you know, pivot, come in on any kind of electric attack, and then U-turn out. Having that perfect pivot is very, very cool, and I liked a lot. Next, we have Wild Charge. This just does a little bit more damage, but has lower accuracy and does recoil. So I don't like Wild Charge like nearly as much as Zing Zap. I think Zing Zap is definitely better, but it's an option that you have for a little bit more damage if that's like really what you desire on this Pokemon. Next, into our stats, they're very basic. 252 into attack and 252 into speed, and then Jolly Nature giving us plus speed minus special attack, since we're not using special attack anyway. And yeah, just being as fast as possible is really good on this Pokemon. We actually hit a very solid speed tier, as you'll see in a moment when I show our speed tiers off. Actually, like pretty much right now. I already talked about all of our synergies, you know, the Gyarados being quad weak to electric, you know, Lapras being weak, Togekiss being weak, and it really just like Lightning Rod is the main focus of this Pokemon, you know, Lightning Rod and then Fake Out and then good strong stab moves. This Pokemon really like shines on a team that electric kind of scares it off, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's about it for this slide. We'll go ahead and talk about some speed tiers here. So we hit a really good speed tier. We're at 162. We're on the same as Mimikyu, which is like famously fairly fast, which is good. Say that 3 times fast. Fast. Anyway, yeah. So we're pretty fast, which is pretty cool. Positive 252. We do get outsped by a couple of things that are not, you know, like Choice Scarfed or anything. Charizard being one of the first ones that are really outspeed us, unfortunately, which is pretty annoying because it's super effective. However, like I said, even with like, you know, not very like regular effective moves, we're only going to really be able to take 2 attacks no matter what they are. Because of our Focus Sash, we're able to live 1, and then the second one is going to kill us. And if you know, like a regular effective move is going to hit like 50 to 60% of our damage, well, that's the same as if we just got hit by something that did 99.9 with our Focus Sash. You know what I'm saying? So like, it doesn't really matter too much. This Pokemon is not meant to be on the field forever, because it's very frail. So Charizard being faster than us doesn't matter too much. I mean, obviously, you know, we can get like a Fake Out off on it, but it's probably gonna Dynamax, so maybe Fake Out his partner, and then maybe another attack next turn. But Charizard's faster, so it's just not that great. Like, the Charizard matchup is not very good. Fortunately, though, for us, you know, this Pokemon will typically be on teams with like water types, which kind of just threaten the Charizard naturally anyway, which is cool. Next, things that outspeed us: Durant at 177. This Pokemon's just very fast and very powerful. A very, very impressive threat that we've seen in the meta, you know, taking multiple tournaments, either taking them or placing at them. And Durant is a really, really powerful Pokemon and outspeeds us, unfortunately. Next, we have Raichu at 178. This is the alternate that you can use, the alternative to Togedemaru that kind of fills a very similar role. It is faster. That is one of the upsides to the Raichu. However, you know, Togedemaru has different usages. It has, I think they both get Fake Out, actually. Does Raichu get Fake Out? Am I blanking? Why am I blanking on that? Raichu gets Fake Out, right? Yeah, it gets Fake Out. I'm going crazy. Yeah, they're very similar Pokemon, to be honest. So you get to really weigh the benefits and stuff like that. But then also Whimsicott outspeeds us. Things like Inteleon outspeed us. Cinderace outspeed us. And then everything that's like famously fast, like Chlorophyll, Rain, Swift Swim. I couldn't think. Chlorophyll, Swift Swim, Choice Scarf, all those kind of famously known to be fast Pokemon will outspeed us, of course. Next, things that we do outspeed: Arcanine at max speed, we do outspeed by 1 point, which is very cool. Arcanine is definitely seeing a huge decline in play, mostly due to Incineroar being in the game now. But Arcanine, you'll still see Arcanine every now and again, in my opinion. I still think the Pokemon is very promising. It's good. It's still good. Next, other things that we outspeed: Excadrill just barely. We outspeed if it's Jolly. If it's Sandrush, it's obviously going to be outspeeding us if Sandrush is active. However, at 154, the Jolly Excadrill we do outspeed, which is very fortunate because it will just OHKO us, and we get to get off an attack and then maybe a second attack, which is cool. Potentially nuzzle something. Obviously, we're immune to the Excadrill's immune to just about everything we do. Even like Iron Head, it does like 6 damage to it, so whatever. Other things we outspeed: Form Change Rotom, unless it's Scarfed, will always be outspeeding. Duraludon, unless it's Scarfed, will always be outspeeding. But come on, like who plays Scarf Duraludon? You see that like 1 out of 40 times you see a Duraludon. Like, we're not too worried about that. So yeah, Togedemaru hits a very, very solid speed tier. We'll go ahead and jump into some damage calcs here real quick, and notice how nothing is Dynamaxed. Maybe that's incorrect. Some of this stuff is going to Dynamax on the opposing side. Togekiss will Dynamax sometimes. Charizard will Dynamax sometimes. Milotic will Dynamax sometimes. So yeah, for now, Togedemaru Zing Zapping is not is pretty good. So Togedemaru Zing Zap into a fairly defensive Togekiss. This is just the most common on Pikalytics that is defensive. 212 HP, 52 defense. We are hitting a guaranteed 2-hit KO on this, which is really good. 60 to 71%. We do the same with Iron Head. However, there's Babbery Berry on a lot of Togekiss. Togekai. Is that Togekisses? Togekai? I don't know. But yeah, doing pretty good damage. Getting a guaranteed 2-hit KO is pretty solid. However, if it's Weakness Policy Dynamax offensive, yikes. That's all I gotta say. Yikes. Be kind of afraid of that. You can nuzzle it, but that does activate its Weakness Policy, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Next, we have Flare Blitz from an Incineroar into our Togedemaru. It kills us. I mean, that shouldn't come as much of a surprise, Incineroar has a fairly solid base attack, and we have a not very solid base defense and special defense and HP. So, of course, we're going to die to things like that. We have one last damaging one at the very bottom, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But until then, Togedemaru Zing Zap into a very defensive Milotic to max HP, max defense. Bold max defense possible. 75% chance to 2-hit KO. We only hit 47 to 56%. This is a fairly high chance. However, if it coils on the first turn, then we won't be able to get a guaranteed 2-hit KO. We can't even get a chance at a 2-hit KO, which is very, very unfortunate. But it is what it is. Next, we have Zing Zap into a very defensive Jellicent, 236 HP, 180 defense, and we have a guaranteed 2-hit KO here as well, 58 to 70.2% damage, hitting pretty hard, and getting a guaranteed 2-hit KO is pretty solid, especially since it's going to be running that Kasib Berry. However, it could Strength Sap on the first turn, lowering our chances of hitting really anything. If it Strength Saps into our Togedemaru, it'll lower our stage and heal back up, and we won't get a 2-hit KO is pretty much what I'm saying there. Next, we have Togedemaru Zing Zap into Charizard. This is non-Dynamax Charizard, so take that 37.5 chance to OHKO and divide it by half. And not actually, that's like completely incorrect math. However, our damage that we do 90 to 107% will be halved if it Dynamaxes, so we'll only be dealing 45 to 53.5 quick maths, hitting that 37.5 chance to 2-hit KO, which is also still fairly promising. However, it kills us, so yikes. Big yikers to that one as well. Anyway, then we have, for our last damage calc, we have a max attack possible. Conkeldurr Mach Punch into our Togedemaru. Guaranteed 2-hit KO. We guaranteed live it, but we already knew that because of Focus Sash, so it doesn't really matter. Pretty much what that is signifying is that if we, take any damage, breaks our stash whatsoever, they could hit us with a 1 damage Dazzling Gleam. No, actually, well, that's incorrect. But if they hit us with a Dazzling Gleam and it does more than like 5%, they're most likely having a 2-hit KO with that Conkeldurr Mach Punch on the next turn, which is pretty good. Is pretty good, if I would say so myself. Conkeldurr is pretty good against this Pokemon. Kind of scary. Anyway, for our last slide here, we have Single Spotlight. This Pokemon is not insane in singles, however, it's not that bad. We're using it Choice Scarfed, Lightning Rod still, just to be able to soak up some damage, some free damage, take a free hit, and we're running Choice Scarf with U-Turn, Zingzap, Iron Head, Nuzzle. Very similar move set, however, we have U-Turn featured on this set, so that we have a good pivot. We can bring this Pokemon in on any electric type attack for free, and then U-turn right out, get some free pivot damage, get a really nice pivot, bring out a guy, bulk it up while your opponent's repositioning, whatever you may want to do. Other than that, our set is very similar with just max attack and max speed, Jolly Nature, just being as fast and as damaging as possible. That's going to be about it for this video. If you like this Pokemon, like and subscribe. If you like this content, like and subscribe. If you like living, like and subscribe. If you don't like living, like and subscribe. I don't know. Like and subscribe is what I'm saying. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like Togedemaru, I already said this. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good evening. Have a good morning. Have a good night. Whatever time zone it is currently, have a good one of that. If you want to see something in the comments down below, go ahead and comment it down below. This was a request. I'll do all the requests I can. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a good evening. Have a good next 3 years. Stay safe out there with that virus going around. Stay safe and have a good one. Goodbye.